it had a middle seat in the front.
Oh!
Like, it really didn't look like it was supposed to be there, but there was a third seatbelt.
Hi, 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 oh, hi, oh, am I looking oh, this is on. Espresso Podcast Shot 325. I'm your girlfriend, Benny, who's in his childhood home right now. And if you didn't do this growing up, I don't even think you were born. But can we talk real quick? Upcoming stand-up comedy shows, Philly tonight. Still time to get tickies. Right underneath in the description, or go to sexblitzy.com. New website alert. Just saying, sexblitzy.com. Raleigh, August 22nd. Buffalo, September 19th. Get your ticks. Watch Lovers and Liars. F-Boy Island Season 1, 2, 3, all available on the CW app. Don't know if I've told you guys that before, have I? Have I mentioned I was on reality TV? Don't know. Tell your homies to join the Patreon, $5 a month for every other Espresso pod every other week. So this one's on YouTube. Next week, Patreon. You gotta join. You gotta join the fam. To know all the secrets of the fam, you gotta join Patreon. And you get a live stream every Sunday night. Best night of the week. Sorry, said it. Glonky hats, who's buying this hoodies? Benedict shirts, Kiss Me Every Day hoodies, all at benedictmerch.com. New stuff's coming. When? You keep saying that. It's coming soon, all right? Mommy's doing stuff, but I've got ideas. And if you're not subscribed to the Patreon, you wouldn't know any of this, so. But let's get to the question of the week. Espresso, quick question of the week. One of my faves ever? Question mark? What was your first car? And what do you miss about it? For me, Jeep Cherokee, 1999, red. Thought it was so lame when we got it because it looked like a box. Thinking back, hottest car I've ever seen. And for some reason, the thing I miss, it kept the new car smell. I don't know how, I don't know why, but every time I walked in that thing, I was like, it had dealership energy. God. Bro, what a purchase. You know what I mean? Because it was like my family car. We bought it new. Bought a new car. I think it was the biggest moment of my life when my family bought a new car. Because we went from like Chevy minivan to like Jeep, bro. Oh, it was hard. And then I got the Jeep. It got passed down to me. But when I got it, it was kind of like on its last leg. You know what I mean? Big car pod, the automobile podcast. But yeah, when I got it, it would just turn off. Like if I was stopped stationary at a red light, it would just turn off. And I'd be like, fuck, so I'd have to turn it back on. I remember at one point in time, I had to tape up the window. Like every 7 days, I just got a piece of duct tape, put it on one side of the window, put it over the door, slapped it on the other side of the window. And it would keep the window up. And then like on day 7, it would slide down. So if like I knew I was picking people up, I was like, gotta get the duct tape out of the glove compartment, put it around. Who cares? Sounds good to me. When I got the car passed down to me, it was passed down to me from my sister. You know what I mean? You go through it. You go through the rankings of the fam. I was the last one on the totem pole, so I was like, when I got it, there were just like 8,000 of those like Neutrogena oil sheets in it everywhere. Because my sister would just like do this while she was driving and just like throw. Dude, girls just throw shit in cars. I'll never understand it. Girls, hair, just right on the floor of the passenger seat every time. Yeah, so like, I don't know. Like I just, not even steering the car. Like, yeah, like I still talk on the phone in my car like this. It's just more direct. Every time I'm on speakerphone in my car, I'm like screaming. Everybody else can hear it. But yeah, I got the car, a bunch of oil sheets in it. Thought I got them all out, but like just months would go by and I'd like find one. There'd be like one in the gas tank. I'd be like, well, how the, in the spare tire. I'm like, how? Take down the like little thing, open the mirror, 15 of them fall out like it was confetti. I was like, I don't know. But like, what a weird invention, first of all, the Neutrogena oil sheets. You can just see how much oil is on your face with like your 3 fingerprints. Oh, I don't know. I kind of could use all of those right now. Did those work? How about the memory unlocked, the little acne circles, oxy wipes? I can just remember the sting of those things on a summer day, dude. Just wiping the oxy wipe on your face. We just rode bikes. I got to put an oxy. How bad was your acne? Everybody went through that, right? I just always had one right here above my right eyebrow, right there. And I would just acne wipe all day long. Like if I had one drop of, like I was so, dude, growing up, it was how much grease is on my face and do I have a double chin right now? I thought I had a double chin for 4 years. I think I still might, but I'm just over it now. But is he over it? I would do this constantly. What are you doing? I'm just making sure I don't have a double chin. Literally for 4 years, this. Just grazing my finger under my chin. Do I have a double chin? That's all it was. LimeWire, acne wipes. Do I have a double chin? Is she on AIM? Do we even have AIM or do we still have the free trial because my mom won't buy it? Relatable? I don't know. But let's get to yours. What was wrong with your car? What was your first car? What do you miss about it? What was wrong with it? Because, I mean, obviously. Avi.
Okay, I don't think I have ever even heard these podcasts, or I don't know where the link is. But anyway, my favorite car was a 2000 Kia Sportage. It was purple. And what I miss about it is that to get into the trunk, there was like a back tire on the car. You had to like lift this little lever to move the back tire out of the way. And then you had to stick your key in the trunk hole to open the trunk because it was not automatic.
Ooh.
It was a dope ass car.
There was something so sexy about the Kia Sportage. It was between Kia Sportage, Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, Jeep Cherokee. Bro, I can't talk to somebody that doesn't know cars. You ever meet somebody and they're like, what's that? Dude, you have to know cars. Like if we're dating, you have to be like, oh, is that a new Tundra? Like you have to say shit like that. I want to date a man, is what I'm saying. That's what the new Tundras look like? Sick. That's the only person I can get along with. Yeah, but to find the podcast, it's usually linked. It's on one of the links in my bio. Or just type in Espresso with Benedict or something. But Kia Sportage, there's something about purple cars. After my red Jeep died, I had the choice, or I had the option to get a new Jeep. And I went to this, you know those like bust down used car dealerships on the side of the road? They look so good, but they drive so bad. There was a Jeep Grand Cherokee purple. And it was like one of those purples that kind of change colors. Still think about it. My dad got in it and he was like, because like, I don't know why your dad's like the final boss of test driving cars. But like we almost bought it. And then I was like, Dad, can you test drive this car? And he's like, the steering wheel's off, B. I was like, can't we fix that real quick? I only wanted it because it was purple. There's something about purple SUVs that are just sexy. Shorty in the Sportage. Love you.
Hello. Milky boy, what's going on, baby girl?
I love you, Milky boy.
Yeah, first car, my guy. We're talking 2001. I thought that shit for real. We're going to a red light with a cop left in me. So I had to break a little, so we get pulled over with my, with a friend of mine, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Bob, Bob's your uncle, suspended car. Okay, let me get back to the point. So, ADD is ADD, okay? First car, 2001, Ford F-150, my guy. Shitbox truck with so many good memories. With my dad, well, he would take me to ride dirt bikes. One dirt bike, I don't know why I pluralize that, but we do that. Quad, four-wheeler, as you narcs call it. But anyway, a quad, what I'm talking about, my guy? But yeah, F-150 red pickup truck, 2001.
Sexy.
Lost it out to all hell. And I miss it for the memories, and then two notable things about it. One time, well, my dad always did this to me. We would go to the bay, right? The bay in New Jersey. So just where the boats come and go. Any koozies. So we do that. He would drive there like 4 feet to freak me out. I'm like, what are you doing? Yada, yada.
Yeah.
He'd also drive up a big dirt hill in the back with it to freak me out because I don't like heights. I thought we were going to slip over, but we have 10 seconds left. So let's spin it up, okay, baby girl? So we would then do that, and then I'll do that with my friend and freak him out. Coming out of the water. Fuck! Need to do part 2. BRB.
Dude, Milky Boy, bro. This podcast is just trying to get through 1 minute of staying on track. Stay on topic for a minute. That's what these voice messages are for. Do you have ADD or not? We'll find out.
Alrighty, we're back. Sorry for that really long roundabout issue. If that be so, yeah. I'll drive it with my then former best friend. Like a little bit into the bay to freak him out. I was like, what are you doing, Dad? And then we pulled it out of the water. I don't know water into the pipes. I kid you not, my guy, it sounded like it had Flowmaster Super 10s in it afterward in the exhaust pipe, right? Because that thing just sounded like, well, not like that. That sounded like a heap hawking a Luke. But anywhoosies, it sounded really well. It sounded just like a purring kitten on steroids until I hit black ice and dashed it for real off into a tree and penetrate the windshield. But anyway, so yeah, that happened, and I miss her. All red. Anyway, kiss the tits, bitch.
Bro, if your brain doesn't work like that, I don't want to talk to you. Sorry. But yeah, 2001 red. He said Ford F-150? Yeah. I wonder if it just... Trucks were cool to me if they had that like little back part where two people could sit, like the smallest two people in the world could sit. Remember that little cab? I thought that was so cool when trucks had that little back window. I was like, oh, you could like lay down back there. Why do I feel like I have to utilize every space available and like make it a fort and play video games in there? Every tiny crevice I see, I'm like, damn, I could play video games in there. Is it just me? Every time, okay, there's a house and there's a crawl space up a ladder. I'm like, I would change that into a video game room. Every nook and cranny I've ever seen. We're in a department store. I'm like, dude, if I worked here, I'd hide back there and play video games. I don't even have a game system. But that's what I think about every time I see one of those trucks. I'm like, oh, sleeping laterally back there in that little space where not even 2 Lego men can fit. That's how I classify if I like a truck or not. I'm a Ford truck man. That's what I drive. I ain't got no boundaries. I don't compromise. I'm a Ford truck man. Thanks, Milky Boy.
What do I miss about my first car? Having your girl in the passenger seat.
Wait, are you talking about Katie?
My first car was the 1990 Grand Prix, or as I called it, a Grand Prix of shit.
Scat.
It had everything wrong with it. But one thing it had that I don't think cars have anymore is it had a middle seat in the front.
Oh!
It really didn't look like it was supposed to be there, but there was a third seat belt. So
I love that.
On occasion, somebody did use it. I mean, there wasn't really a place to put their feet, but we used it.
So you got to do that crisscross in the front.
I believe that everybody's first car should be shitty. Like, one, if you buy your kid a new car, you might be throwing money down the drain.
Imagine how rich.
Unspeakable things to that fucking car. Also, you'll learn what to do when something goes wrong.
So
like
true.
When, this light goes out, when you have to replace that tire, when your speedometer doesn't work. So you just gotta go buy a radar, and then you gotta do weird math for the rest of your life. Like, you learn things. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do when your car breaks down? Well, you learn. You just get AAA, or you call 911. County fire burning on a dance floor.
Whoa. Shout out to Sean Kingston. I thought he was dead for the past 7 years. Newsflash, buddy. He's not. Bro, that third seat in the front, I always wanted to sit there. My grandma had that, or my grandpa had that car. It's always like in a Buick, you know. It's real smooth, like low, old guy car, but it's new. And it's got that seat right in the middle. And I'm like, are we allowed to sit there? Yeah, sit there. Dude, you're just driving to church. Your grandpa's on your right. Your sister's on your left. And you're just like buckled in. Because that's how I am. Like when I'm on a road trip and there's somebody driving, a passenger, and I'm in the back, I'm pretty much in the middle seat. Because I'm like, best time of my life. Third, middle seat, front row. The smoothest car you've ever been in. But your Grand Prix, that sounds exhausting. Kind of butchered it. We won't talk about it. Yeah, I still don't know shit about cars, but you do. Yeah, if you're one of those people that has a brand new car for your first car, people that wreck those, I'm like, why would I be shocked? Oh my God, yeah, like the rich girl that's the prettiest in school got like a Dodge Intrepid, like 2009. She wrecked it like the next day, Amanda. I'm like, yeah, no shit. No shit. That sucks, but no shit. But how do you do that? Don't do that. Don't have AAA, and I can think of 34 times when I've needed it. Why don't I have it? I don't know. I feel like it's $5 a month. Why don't I have it? I almost bought it that one time I ran out of gas. I almost bought AAA right then and there. Called them and was like, okay, can we run the credit card? Like, let's just go. No, it takes like 2 business days. Okay, I'll call 911. Bye. I kind of think everyone should have AAA because they do more shit than fix cars, I think. I think you can call AAA to like shovel your driveway and they're like, be right there. They'll do everything. Can you rearrange my room? I need to change AAA. Can you move my bed to this wall? AAA, can you unload my dishwasher? Dude, AAA, you know what they are? Just a bunch of dads. Because who can fix your car? The only person in the world that knows how. A dad. AAA? Just every dad, just when they're done with their like real job and they're like in retirement, they should just all work for AAA. They know how to do everything at that point in their life. Not an ad. But I will add it to my insurance package. Didn't make sense. Let's keep going.
So my first car, my favorite thing I missed about it, I had a Dookie Green, peanut butter, leather interior, Honda Civic 96. And what would happen?
96.
I would just be like randomly driving and then like smoke or heat. I don't know, like white heat or smoke would come out from under the engine. And it would like randomly stop. And then I would have to like let it sit for a good like 5 minutes and then drive it again. It was not ghetto at all.
God, everybody had that thing. I had something wrong with my car and it was like that, bro. I just had to keep pouring coolant in it every time I drove it. So I had like 1,700 bottles of coolant in my truck, and every time I stopped my car, parked it, filled up all the way to the brim. Oh, I'm home now? Pop the hood, coolant time. Thing just leaked coolant everywhere. Instead of getting it fixed, just bought 17,000. I don't know. But yeah, the white smoke, that'd be a little crazy. Is your car confirming who the new pope is? White smoke coming out of your hood. Hey, we got a new pope. Nah, it's just your carburetor. Oh, okay, fuck. That's how we determine. Dude, and has everyone once in their life gotten their catalytic converter sawed off their car? I just remember parking my car in like not that bad of a neighborhood, going inside, spending the night at my friend's house, walking outside in the morning at like 9 a.m., probably like going to football workouts, start my car. I was like, oh shit, this is my first thought when somebody cut off my catalytic converter overnight. My first thought in the morning when I started my car and I heard that noise, I go, oh, somebody souped up my car. I was like, when did this thing get like rocket packs on the back? Then I was like, something's not right. They cut off your catalytic converter. How much do you get for a catalytic converter? $6? That's so hood. That's ghetto. You know you're in the wrong part of town when your catalytic converter is just gone the next morning.
The first car that I had was a 2000 Saturn, and it was a piece of junk. It got hit about 5 times, but somehow never had a single dent in it.
Let's go.
And the thing I miss about most is every time I would get a new person in the car, I would show them my party trick. And that party trick was halfway down the road, I'd pull the key out of the ignition.
I love cars like
and ask them
that.
to hold on to it while the car would still move.
What is that?
Ta.
I love you, bro. Want to hop in my Saturn, girl? Hey, it's out of this world. I'm gonna kill myself. But do they make Saturns anymore? Man, I haven't seen a Saturn. Hey, I haven't seen a Saturn, and you know what I missed too? A Pontiac Sunfire. Those things might have weighed 300 pounds. A Pontiac Sunfire? Every time I see one of those cars, I'm like, that could fit under a semi in an action movie. That's how I judge cars. I'm like, if it can fit under a semi in an action movie, I want it. Yeah, I knew like 4 people growing up in high school that could just take the car out of the engine and it would just still run. Imagine throwing that key out of the window though. Intrusive thoughts? Oh my God, look, I can like take my key out just immediately. What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? Key's gone. Did you ever lose the key? Skip going.
Okay, so my first car was 2004 Buick LaCrosse.
So hot.
It was tan. And what I miss about it is how sturdy it was. Like I drove into a pretty steep ditch during like a little rainstorm once. And I just drove it straight out.
Oh,
yeah.
Hot. Just something about cars, like, you ever hit something or someone and you get out of your car and you're like, and you look at the spot where there should be like just the worst dent of all time. You feel like your car's totaled. Nothing even there. I'm like, a sturdy ass car that, hey, you know what? They just don't make them like that no more. They really don't. Remember that car that, I think it was a Saturn, that you could like throw a baseball at and it'd be like, pfft. The doors were like, you could like hit them and shit. Oh my God, why isn't every car like that? Pfft. The commercial was like people just like ramming shopping carts into it. What a great commercial. It was red. It was red. But yeah, those old Buick LaCrosses. Buick LaCroix. Just something different about that car. That's like the Nokia like brick cell phone of cars. Like It's just gonna be in your family forever. Your grandpa has it. How about the dudes in school that had their grandparents' cars? I was like, don't blame you. Dude, if like 9 of your friends didn't have Ford Tauruses from like their dads and grandpas as their first car, don't want to talk to you. Sorry. Taurus gang.
My first car was a 2004 Ford F-150, and that thing was a tank. The first ever accident that I got in, I was going through an intersection, and this lady like flew through the red light from my left, and so I ended up hitting her, and it barely bent the front bumper of my truck and basically totaled her car.
Oh, the way I wouldn't know what to do if I got in a car accident. The reason I haven't gotten in a car accident bad is because I have no idea what to do when I get out of the car. I'd be like, you write some stuff down, I guess, call someone. I'm going to call 911 because what are we doing? Do we know? And with my luck, I'll hit someone as dumb as me. I'm going to hit somebody and be like, how's $500 sound? The car's in flames. Yeah. Are you ever surprised, like, when a car is totaled? Sometimes I feel like people will, like, dent their door and they'll be like, yeah, insurance said it's totaled, so I get a new car now. I'm like, I just do not. I will never understand how this works. How is that Don't know. Not going to ask. But 2004 Ford F-150. Why is that? I think that's my whole personality. 2004 Ford F-150. How would you describe yourself? A sturdy 2004 Ford F-150? Actually, nah, not really. Like if I was a car, I'm pretty much like a Chevy Extreme 2-door. With black ice on the mirror. For sure. Sound system, no. I just like the default speakers. Music has never sounded better than when you're in your car, right? Can we all agree? Music on your headphones, cool. Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. Not even just saying that. Music on headphones is pretty good. But when you're in your car, there's just something about that. You ever get in your friend's car that has like subwoofers? Hey, when are those coming back? Fitted hats are coming back. These are coming back. The Pooks are back. Sorry. Are long shorts coming back? And are subwoofers coming back? That might have been the most insane thing that I've ever gone through in my life. When we were able to get our license, and it took me God knows how long to get my license and then finally get a car after, I felt like I never had a car. I was like, this is just like my mom's. I don't know. She's just like letting me drive. I don't really know if it's mine or not. Like I could have a different car tomorrow. It might be, you know, like I don't know. And people had their own car and they had enough money to get subwoofers in the back. I was like, where are you guys getting this money? Is that a Christmas thing? Like, where are you guys getting this money? And the cars they would have. Just a $17,000 car? Where are you getting the money, bro? My family's not poor, but like, they're not dropping 20 G's on a car just cause. Insane, bro. I remember driving to a group project. Oh my God. Group project, me, 4 other people going to like one of my homies' houses that lives by the high school to film the project for history class. On the way to this dude's house, I think I got tunnel vision. My face has never been itchier. Couldn't hear anyone. I've never gone through anything like this in my life. I've been on roller coasters. I've been on flight simulators. I've been to Cedar Point on the drop zone, Elevator. I've been on those. I just lied. I've never been on those. But like, you know what I'm saying? I've been on Wicked Twister. I got in this dude's car with subwoofers on blast. And I was like, I think I'm going to throw up. Dude, like this the whole time. Can't hear shit. And people will people were asking me like dudes in my group were asking me questions. Do you think we should? I was like, bro, are you kidding me? I think that's when I learned I was deaf. I was like, I cannot. And then right when I answer, the music, it goes to the next song. And I'm like, I think we should. God damn it. I'm sorry. And then the music turns back on and I'm like, never mind. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
My first car was a 1987 IROC Z28. It was cherry red. I miss absolutely everything about it, but I miss the T-tops. Just taking off those heavy-ass glass T-tops, putting them in like the trunk of the car and just like driving around.
Hard.
I freaking loved it.
I always wanted a car like that, but at the same time, I was like, why isn't the whole thing just a convertible? I know you didn't have a choice because it's your first car and it's probably like just, you know, some used shit. And you're like, yeah, it's cool. How about people that had convertibles when you're in high school? I was like, okay, grandma that lives in Sarasota, you just have a convertible? Like, dude, people that had convertibles were elite. What? Hey, how about the girl in high school that had like a VW, like a Volkswagen Beetle convertible? I was like, you're actually so hot. Hot for your car. You're hot because of your car. Man. T-top though, I was always like, that's kind of cool. I never knew you put them in the trunk. I don't know what I thought you did with them. I thought you just put them like in that red wagon in your garage and they just sat there until like October. That reminds me of those cars. Like I never saw one of these cars not like this. Remember those cars that you'd see on the side of the road and they'd had those flip up lights? Those lights in the front that actually look like eyeballs with eyelids. One of them was always down. I was like, can we just get this shit together? I hated those cars because they look like people. I'm like, that car has emotions. Every single one of those cars. Cars with the flip-up lights. No one, cars with the flip-up lights. Let's keep going.
Yeah, first car, 2006 Toyota Sienna minivan.
I love you guys.
What I miss most about it is it smelled like straight mildew, double hand-me-down. But if you put enough of those Christmas trees in there, it'll smell all right. And just bumping Hard in the Paint by Waka Flocka.
Oh.
Because my dad would just usually listen to sports talk radio in there, so
perfect.
He wouldn't really have the volume up too high, so the bass was booming.
Oh, he kept the bass real nice and fresh for you. Yeah, because like AM radio, sports radio has zero bass whatsoever. So your bass was just like prime time ready. Nothing. Your speakers felt nothing in their lives before that. Flocka! Your car's whole personality changed. Went, Flocka! Oh, that do. Yeah, crazy. How about Waka? That was such a prime era of my life. That was when I was the most alive, when Flocka was like top 3 rappers. Rooster in my Rari. What were we doing, bro? What were we doing? Rooster. His song of his was called Rooster in My Rari. And I played that shit so loud every single day. Oh my God. Yeah, I was always a little jealous of the people that had minivans in high school. I was like, I don't know why that is like kind of cool. Just the fact that you could take a whole entire track team to practice. Oh, we got to meet up there? We can take my van. Just 16 people in the back sitting like this. No seats. Dude, if I had a minivan, the back would be 0 seats. There'd always be 2 of my friends back there, and there'd be like a bunch of pine needles from a Christmas tree. I'd be like, yeah, this is my car. Oh my God. I think when my family had a minivan, we really did put our Christmas tree just in the van. Yep, I think we did. And there would just be a huge Christmas tree in our car. Like my mom would be driving us home, or my dad would be driving us home, and there'd just be a whole ass Christmas tree. Like, and the tip of the tree would just be like touching the radio. We'd be like, we good? Yep, we're good. Dude, real Christmas trees. Not that this is a holiday podcast or anything, but there's just real Christmas trees still hit different. And you know that. Put some hey, bring those back. Bringing fitted hats back. Bringing puka shells back. Bring real Christmas trees back. 2024 real Christmas trees. And bring Walmart back, please. 24-hour Walmart.
Not a $40 fucking besides your mother's credit.
Benny, big fan, man. Been following you on IG for a little while now, even before the F-Boy Island.
I love you, man.
My wife and I are big fans. She's a big F-Boy Island fan. My son, who's 7, is a big fan of the Who's Buying This?
On another episode.
Skit you do on Instagram. It's
got one coming up.
Great. Sorry for whispering too. I got my little guy sleeping next to me, but I think this would be perfect for your podcast. I had my first car, actually my first 2 cars were 1989 or 1990 Oldsmobile Delta 88s. 4-door. Was a great car. Loved it. What I loved about it the most was that they had bench seating. So the front seat, even though it had a middle console, you could lift it up. And I used to scoot over to the passenger seat, and I would be able to drive the car from the passenger seat. I'd have my left foot operating the brake and the gas, and then my left hand kind of holding the wheel underneath. So when people saw me, they would think that nobody was driving the car. It was like a ghost driving the car. And I'd have all my boys from the neighborhood jump in the back seat. So, you know, it would be me in the passenger seat driving the car, nobody in the driver's seat, and like 2 or 3 of my boys in the back. We would cruise the neighborhood, and people would just be cracking up laughing, man. So just picture that for a moment. You're just driving around in the car, and it looks like no one's driving in the driver's seat. Yeah. Figured that would be good for your podcast, man. I'll tune in and listen and see if I get lucky enough. You mentioned it, but anyway, again, big fan, and hope you're able to share that story on your podcast, man.
Bro,
take it easy.
I love you so much, dog. God, that guy's a pro at. You know how good his voicemails probably are, bro. The voice, just bookending it. Oh. You can just tell dude's got game. Man, smooth. Anonymously. I kind of don't get how you did it still. Great explanation. Do we listen back? I think he said he scooted over and he would drive the car like this. Dude, that's the most high school thing of all time. Just absolutely nothing to do. Hey, get in. Let's drive around and just act like there's no one driving. God damn, bro. Why is there just nothing like, on some old shit, nothing like talking about cars? Oh my God. Delta 88, great car. Scoot over, drive it, and pretend no one's in it. Sounds like I would do that every single day with the homies. Hey bro, want a fake drive? Yeah, I'll be there in 2 minutes, okay? I'll pick you up.
So I had a 99 red Sunfire, power nothing, no air conditioners. So I would drive home in the summer and it would be soaking wet, sweating. And if I drove like longer than 3 hours, I would literally get like a diaper rash.
soaking wet. Man, that was always such a bummer when somebody had manual windows. That's crazy. I don't know. Everybody had one in their family. Roll down windows? How's that? Do they even make that anymore? How about the people that like didn't want to pay an extra $3,000 and they had a stick shift? I was like, bro, I'll give you $3,000 so you don't have to fucking. Why'd I kind of like it though? Why is it kind of hot? Used to carpool. 2 people in this neighborhood. Crazy. Still lives here. 34, 33. But they'd pick us up, and the dude that picked, such a cool dad. He'd be the guy that wouldn't always take us. Like it was always like mom every single time. This kid's mom would pick us up to go to school, pick us up, go to school, the mom. Then like 2%, it'd be his dad on some like weird scheduling. And I'd be like, oh, it's dad's pick us up. It's so sick. We would just talk about like March Madness basketball the whole time, and he would just have a stick shift. Hey, you see that game last night? I was like, how do you know what you're doing? How do you know what you're doing? Everybody with a stick shift, how do you know? How do you know? Dude, if you can operate a stick shift in a car, I think you might be able to be the president. Qualifications to be a president, drives a stick shift. I think he's got it. Yeah, he's got it. He can do it. If he can change a tire and then drive a stick shift, bro, you could probably like quarterback a team to the Super Bowl. How do you know?
My first car was a 1995 Grand Prix GTP.
Pricks.
It was a 6-cylinder, which was all I knew was important at the time. I knew it was a big deal.
What's that?
And impressive to friends. It also meant that it was loud. And not to mention that it had a hole in the muffler. So it was extra loud. Due to some old mechanical issues, it also caused the car to vibrate when it was running. So my friends and I jokingly referred to my car as the Big Black Vibrator. Or the BBV, as we called it. It was also nice that I didn't have to honk when I got to friends' houses because they could hear my car coming.
Kind of sick. Yeah, those cars with no mufflers, God. That is one thing that I just can't get over is a loud car. I'm like, why? Every time. If you're one of those people that acts like the world's ending when they hear a loud car, BFFs. Yeah, dude. Grand Prix, such a first car. 6-cylinder though. What is it? Yeah, that'd always be a thing. Like when I was going to go buy a car or when I was like looking at a car, I always wanted like a mid, very small miniature SUV. I thought those were so cool. Like if you're in high school and you like a Grand Prix was a dope. That's probably the like coolest car. What are we talking about right now? But those dudes or girls in high school that had like a Chevy Blazer. Like you know what I'm talking about? Like the mini ones? Bro, that was the sickest shit. A black Blazer? A green one? Didn't care what. A white one? Bro, the things I would do. For a GMC Jimmy in high school? Oh! I think I would have traded my entire life away. And then the girls in your high school, like, write with the paint markers on the back, your football number. I love you? Any cheerleader touches my car with a paint marker, I love you. I don't think anyone ever did. But god dang. Yeah, the Grand Prix were sick. Yeah, that like burnt orange one. You know what I'm talking about. They're still out there.
Hey, Benny. Love you. My first
I love you
car
more.
was a 97 Honda Accord station wagon, which were pretty rare. You didn't see those very often. And at some point, the latch to the trunk had broken and someone was getting out of my trunk because, you know, of course, that's what you do when you're an idiot teenager. And someone else picked up the trunk and didn't hold it because they didn't know it was broken. So it came down on the guy's knee. And I don't know how it didn't chop his leg off because it was extremely heavy. So I miss almost chopping guys' legs off. Also, I had like a aftermarket installed radio.
Yeah.
Like a fancy one, a Kenwood one, if you know, you know. And left my car unlocked one time and it got stolen. And after that, I had like a 40-minute commute and I just had to drive to work in silence or listen to my headphones. So I don't necessarily miss that, but
headphones.
Fuck.
Love you so much. Oh my god. Accidentally in love. Nah, but yeah, the Kenwood. I somehow had one. I thought it was so cool to have one of those radios, like with all the, you know, you start your car and then like the digital like alarm clock numbers like make a cool like pattern and then it says the time, 7:38 a.m. I was like, god damn it. But you know, that was so sick. Had one of those. You press the like eject button for a CD. It's like, it took like 17 seconds. Put the CD in. I was like, I have the Batmobile. Sorry, everybody. I'm Batman now. Coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, how does this work? How do I have this? My friend's dad worked at a car dealership, went to the used car lot, took the faceplate out of that car, put it in mine. Was it illegal? Probably. Did we care? I did a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I'm a wanted criminal driving around, listening to 3-6 Mafia. Kenwoods. Crazy. Yeah, you almost chopped somebody's leg off. Headphones in the car can't do it. I already can't hear a goddamn thing. With my luck, I'll put in headphones, one headphone, and an ambulance will immediately be behind me. And it'll run me over. It'll run me over like a monster truck. And then I'll have to go in that ambulance. Dude, people that drive with headphones on, how? How? A fire truck. Dude, the amount of, how is a fire truck not just, how have I not just like T-boned? I think every time I see an ambulance or a fire truck, I'm this close from hitting it. I'm like, could have been 2 emergencies, baby girl.
I had a 1992 Nissan Maxima. That thing had an automatic seatbelt buckler.
Oh, those always tripped me out. I was like,
it would crack people up every time it'd be driving. They'd come in and like, oh, I wouldn't expect it. I would call it Jeffrey. Thank you, Jeffrey, every time it would buckle me up. That's what I miss. I don't miss it being a gas guzzler. I did do that. It was not the best with gas. Good times. A long time ago.
not the best with gas. Yeah, me neither. This guy. Too easy. That was a really easy one. Low-hanging fruit. He did it anyway. Yeah, I never understood the self-buckling. Yeah, I never understood the self-buckling car. Why? It's like your like Iron Man suit. Thank you, Jarvis. Jarvis, can you buckle my seatbelt? Kind of hot though, kind of hot. Let's keep going.
My first car was a 1988 Chevy S10.
Oh, I love this guy, dude. There's just some guys that I just remember. There's some people I remember just because their voice. This guy is just so confident.
And everything on the passenger side worked. And that's including the windshield wiper, the door to get in, the speakers on the right side. It was fucked, but I loved it. It was white. It was basically the truck from Toy Story that delivered pizzas.
Oh, god damn, this made me so hungry. But I do love that truck. Everything on the right side didn't work.
Passenger side worked, and that's including the windshield wiper, the door to get in, the speakers on the right side. It was fucked, but I loved it. It was white. It was basically the truck from Toy Story that delivered pizzas.
Always kind of sad when like the back right speaker on your car just stopped working. You're like, it's like when you know when your grandparents is like on the way out, you're like, fuck. Okay, shit just got real. All right. Hey, gonna have to move on soon. Oh, guy who has no feelings, and let's keep going.
So I had a 1986 Civic Gray. It was the same year that I was born, 86. And what I miss about it most is that on the freeway, if you went even 2 miles over the speed limit, the whole car would start shaking like it was in a violent earthquake. So that was one way that it kept me from getting tickets is never going over the speed limit because that thing would shake violently.
I remember the first time I went like kind of fast. Remember the first time you floored it? Everybody remembers where they were, right? The first time you're like, fuck it. I'm doing it. Why did I think right when the pedal hit the floor, I would just take off like the Men in Black video game? You know what I'm talking about? When you... Like, I thought I was gonna, like, be in a NASCAR race. It didn't even go that fast. I was like, okay. And right when I, like, pushed it hard, I was like, I'm getting a ticket. I thought there'd be 14 cops behind me. Yeah, but the whole car. I was like, can't do that ever again. Okay. And we're in Star Wars now.
So I actually had a 2012 Chevy Cruze. And it was like a champagne type of gold. And it was a really nice car, actually. I loved it. I miss pretty much everything about it. And the most that I miss is the people who would end up driving it that would be falling asleep at the wheel and crashing it into the back of another person, causing a 3-car accident. And then totaling it.
Jesus Christ, dude. That took a turn. Hold on.
I miss pretty much everything about it. And the most that I miss is the people who would end up driving it. I actually had a 2012 Chevy Cruze.
And Cruze!
And it was like a champagne type of gold. And it was a really nice car, actually. I loved it. I miss pretty much everything about it. And the most that I miss is the people who would end up driving it that would be falling asleep at the wheel and crashing it into the back of another person, causing a 3-car accident, and then totaling it.
You ever fall asleep while driving and the thing you're listening to on the radio is like your favorite song? A little depressing. I'm like, just trying to drive somewhere and listening to the one song I want to listen to, and I'm like, what am I doing? The falling asleep while, dude. I promise I was probably asleep for 2 straight minutes on a highway. Everybody's done it. But I was like, I need to park in a hotel parking lot and fall asleep until noon. Just so tired. Just dead asleep on 465. Isn't everyone?
First car was a 1992 Mustang 5.0. And the main thing I really miss about it is that the passenger door would only like shut properly if you like lifted it and shut it. But sometimes people didn't know that, so they just shut the door and think they were safe. And I was in the car with my girlfriend one time, and I remember making like a left turn and almost like ejected her out of the car. It was great. It was in the middle of an argument, and she swore up and down that I tried to kill her, and I just thought it was hilarious. So sometimes I turn left, and the right door would just swing open. Miss that car a lot. This is Dom, Childish Adulta, by the way. I know you said it could be anonymous. It doesn't matter. You could tell the people. It's me from the Hollywood Comedy Dog.
Hey, let's go. That's funny. That's definitely a bit, dude. Put that in. Put that in the game. Oh my God. Why do I always think I'm going to fall out of a car every time I'm in it? I'm like, if this door opened right now, bye. All my weight. It's definitely the most girl thing of all time. You tried to kill me. Babe, my car, like, you know, when you shut the door, you have to lift it up and shut. You tried to murder me. You tried to murder me, and you just said you loved me and care for me, and you just tried to. Yeah, I did try to.
Benny, what up? My first car was actually my sister's first car, which was handed down to me. It was a 94 white Grand Dam.
Damn.
Or Grand Prix, I think. Grand Prix, I think is what it was.
Grand Dam. Son.
Ugliest car. Anyway, dude, we had the yellow Sony Discman up in there connected to the tape deck that plugged into the cassette player.
Insane.
And, so we could bump our CDs.
What you do to listen to Eminem.
Did not roll up all the way. It rolled up. There was probably like, a quarter, a fifth of it that was still open. And even in the winters, we rode that bitch until the wheels fell off. And I just remember it being cold as fuck because we were up in South Bend and it's a little bit colder up there. But yeah, I mean, we smoked hella blunt in that mug.
It was just like he was just delaying the inevitable the whole time. I was like, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say You ever play it when it's really cold outside, all your friends are in the car, and as a driver, you just take down all the windows? Freeze out! What were we doing? I think I did that every single time me and my friends were in the car and it was snowing outside. And you're on the highway. It was so cold. But that would wake your ass up. Padiddle, do you remember that? So desperate. Had so little game growing up. Me and my friends would get in the car with 3 girls, play Padiddle, which is if you see another car with a headlight out, you slap the ceiling. Last person that slaps the ceiling has to take an item of clothing off. We would play that game, and we were the only ones that would ever get naked. Me, 2 of my friends, 3 girls in a car driving around looking for cars without headlights. We found so many, but it was always the dudes that ended up being naked, the girls fully clothed. We'd be like, just 3 naked guys, 3 fully clothed girls in the car. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. We should probably go home. Every time. Best night of my life.
Hello from Scotland. Thing I loved about my car, I was 20. It was my first ever car, and the car was 23 years old. It was a Suzuki Swift, and it was half metal, and the bottom bumpers were all plastic. I thought it was being really cool, reversed too fast when I had my boyfriend and his friends in the car and bumped into a lamppost. But the benefit of it being half plastic is that I was able to pop all the plastic back out.
Oh, hell yes.
Love the show.
I am gonna cry. We got Scotland, fam. There's just no better feeling than popping out a dent. Just the worst eyesore of your entire life, and then you take it somewhere and just fucking some guy just does some weird, put some weird contraption on it. But it's never like a noise, like it's always like, it sounds like a dinosaur that just got shot by a shotgun. It's like, perfect after that. I'm like, dude, you saved my entire life.
So my first car was a 2002 bright yellow Ford Focus hatchback. And I loved that thing. I got it the summer before my senior year, so it was about like 2007. It had zebra print seat covers and a zebra print wheel cover that my brother got me for my birthday.
Hard.
Because everyone knows I love my animal print. And I was one of those people that had the plush dice around the front mirror. And mine were Disney themed, so it had like little Mickeys on it. And so I miss how like unique that thing was. And it was so different, and I felt like it really matched my personality, and I really miss it.
I love this girl.
And the other thing was that the fact that it was bright yellow and I never lost that thing in a parking lot. I could spot it even if I forgot where I parked, which happens every so often.
Every single time.
I miss that thing. I thought it was the coolest thing. And I thought it was hot shit, even though if nobody else thought I was, I definitely did. But yeah, that was my first car.
Yo, that almost brought me to tears. She's definitely one of those girls that had like the Hawaiian lei around. It's so many girls had that around the mirror. Lei. Yep. Yeah, yellow cars went so hard. For a minute, like the car that got passed down to me, the red Jeep, I think we're gonna get a yellow one. And I was like, ew, no, oh my God. But now thinking back, I'm like, I wish I had a yellow car. That would have been so hard. Finding it in parking lots, kind of I never thought about that. I just thought no matter what kind of car you had no idea where. Every time I go to a parking lot, it's like I've been drunk for a week straight. I'm like, where? What? I've never thought of that while going into a store. My car is in section E on the post. That has never crossed my mind. This is where I parked. I'm gonna remember when I get out. That's just something no one has that skill.
Oh, first car was a 1991 Saturn something. I don't know. I drove it in 2004. And the seats went back. Like the seats were not safe at all. My dad had bought it for like $1,000 and the seats just would fly back anytime you stopped at a stoplight, making anything look just so dramatic, right? So my dad put a whole milk crate behind the driver's seat so that I wouldn't do that. And then he just advised me not to have any passengers in the car. Yeah, I just missed that I didn't have to pay anything ever on that car. And the dramatics, like watching other people's faces when I came to stoplights, that was pretty funny too.
Dude, so wait a minute. Hold on.
I don't know. I drove it in 2004. And the seats went back. Like the seats were not safe at all. My dad had bought it for like $1,000 and the seats just would fly back anytime you stopped at a stoplight.
So like the slide thing, so you'd stop and be like, Going to be like... So you had a carnival ride, is what you're saying. You had a carnival in your car. And a milk, dude, a milk crate can solve 99% of everyone's problems. Is a milk crate, milk crates are indestructible. Carts and milk crates. Never seen one that's broken, ever. You ever seen a broken milk crate? Never.
Thing looked just so dramatic, right? So my dad put a whole milk crate behind the driver's seat so that I wouldn't do that. And then he just advised me not to have any passengers in the car. I just missed that I didn't have to pay anything ever on that car. And the dramatics, like watching other people's faces when I came to stoplights, that was pretty funny too.
Hey, I'm here. My dumbass would have rolled out of the front window.
My first car was my parents' old car. It was a silver 2006 Chevy Cobalt. And it honestly wasn't a bad car. It just, I made it into a piece of shit. Like, I was pretty rough on the thing. But the one thing I remember about it is I cracked the ball joint in it, which has to do with, like, the steering. I think I cracked it because I hit, like, a curb really hard. And over time, it just got worse. And, like, the steering wheel would shake uncontrollably, especially when I would, like, come to a stop. And I think we ended up getting it fixed, but I didn't tell my parents for a long time because I was the one that fucking broke it. But if it would have, like, snapped all the way, I would have lost control and died. But, it wasn't a bad car. Just, I was pretty rough on it, and there's a lot of memories in that car. But, yeah.
Amount of times you almost died while driving? 37? Every time I get in a car, I'm like, how am I not gonna die? Endless possibilities. Hold on, wait. She said something. We gotta run it back.
I think I cracked it because I hit like a...
Oh, dude. Just the amount of times I go to park my car on the street against the curb and I just... and you could just hear... Dude, my poor, like... Are they rims? I don't think I'm cool enough to say... My poor hubcaps. I remember I'd always try to explain to my dad what spinners were, or like explain to older people what like rims were. And I'd be like, yeah, the hubcaps like spin. Because I felt like saying rims. I'd be like, what are you talking about? But the way, dude, my rims beat to shit. Cause I'm that guy that'll like do an illegal U-turn and like, you know, I turn my wheel like all the way till there's no more turn left. And it's like, and I'm like, Jesus, what's that noise? And then I drill the curb and I'm like, all right. Enough damage has been done here. Well, that was the best question we've ever done. Thank you for the voice messages. I love you. Why can I just talk about cars forever? Don't know. Thank you for the voice messages. I wish I had pictures. That's one thing I should have said. Send pics of your car, because I know you have them. Let's keep going. Dear Diary, I got a tattoo on the back of my head. No, it's not cool. It's just, I know I got these advertisements a lot on Instagram. It's like, you going bald? And it'd be a guy with like a bald head, but it was shaved, you know. The guys that are thinning and they shave their heads, not a bad look. But then there was like that like little era, like maybe like 5 or 6 years ago when dudes would just get those dots on their head, tattooed dots on their head, and it looked like they had a full head of hair but kept it real shaved. That's what I got back here. I got pretty much like you know how they microblade eyebrows? I got that on the back of my head where my hair transplant scars are. Dedicated to not being bald, part 52. But I was like, whatever. You know, not gonna hurt too bad. They didn't like say anything like, yo, you might need somebody to like pick you up and take you there and stuff like that. So I was like, cool, I'm not worried about it. And I was really sold because they were like, you don't have to, I was like, do I have to shave my head for this like tattoo? And they're like, nah, you're good. And I was like, oh, definitely doing it. Can't wait. Right when I walk in, you ready for a haircut? I was like, skid it, babe. They gave me a fire haircut. Can't see because he wears a hat every day, even though he has a hair transplant. We don't know why. Great haircut. Sat face down. She started going to town on the back of my head. Tattoo gun. Pretended like it didn't hurt the whole time. You good? I'm good. Doesn't hurt at all. At one point, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt so bad that my leg just almost kicked over a cart of shit. My leg was like doing this shit during it because I was like trying to play it so cool. My leg was like, almost kicked over an entire cart of like tattooing materials. Yeah, still good. No pain. On the pain, I actually said this one time. I go, if it's out of 10 on pain, probably a 1. I didn't know that the back of your head was like the most sensitive thing in the world. I was almost crying near the end. Near the end, like when she had like this hat. So she went from side back to side. And on the when she was almost done on this side of my head, I was like, I think I might, like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like I like 15 times in my head, I was like, I cannot wait till this is over. I never thought I'd be the guy, because I would always make fun of people that were like, oh my God, I got a tattoo and it hurts. I'm like, shut up. No, it didn't. I'm wrong. You're right. I'm a bitch. You're not. Oh my God. I was like, this is actual Chinese torture right now. And I was like, yeah, all good, pretending like it didn't hurt at all. Because I didn't want her to get uncomfortable, because I was like, oh my God, it hurts so bad. Because that's what I was feeling inside. She stops, we're done, wipes it down a little bit, we're good to go. I get up from like the doctor table that's like soft, has like a cushion on it. I get up from that. It's almost like a massage table, you know what I mean? I get up from that. The whole thing is soaked in sweat. They're like, no pain? I was like, no. Soaked. They were like, can we get like some Lysol wipes in here? I was like, was wearing jean shorts. It looked like I pissed my pants. The whole front of my jean shorts was wet. I was wearing a football jersey, whole thing soaked. It's a used football jersey. So somebody like wore it a lot before I did. And when you like wear like a piece of clothing that's been like worn a lot, when you start like sweating in it, it like activates the smell of the clothing you're wearing. So I looked like I pissed my pants and I just smelled like shit. Just covered in sweat. Just back of my head just so swollen. Yeah, no pain. It's crazy, bro. That's cringe moment of the week as well. Them being like, hey, I almost was like, you need me to help you clean up all that sweat. It was insane. It was bad. You could have told us if you were running hot down there. I was like, still not even able to mutter a word. My dumb ass. They're like, the only thing you need to keep in mind after you get a head tattoo, don't sweat. I was sweating the whole time. I don't know. It's 2 days of the week. Days of the week. Today, Thursday, wine and cheese day. What did I do the other? I feel like I ate like a pound of cheese the other day. Did I have pizza? Oh, okay. Yeah, right when I got to my dad's house. Best house of all time. Flight lands, 11 o'clock. Coolest thing my dad's ever done. Pulled up, got in the house, 2 Pizza Hut personal pan pizzas on the counter. I was like, ate them in 5 seconds. Didn't eat the crust. Really weird. Really not me moment. But I was like, for some reason, the crust just wasn't hidden. Sometimes Pizza Hut crust, I'm like, you sure about this? Hot Fudge Sundae Day. Hey, National Ice Cream Day was this past Sunday. Got ice cream. He did it. He actually performed a National Day of the Week. He did it. First time ever on the podcast. Actually did one of the things on National Days of the Week. National Days of the Week. Put some respect on them. It's a pivotal part of the Espresso podcast. I don't think it gets talked about enough, but hey, this is where the bits are born. Got ice cream on National Ice Cream Day, but drove to 5 ice cream places before I made a decision. Mrs. Curls, they were closed. The internet said they closed at 9. Pulled up at 8:55. Closed. Cool. We get it. Just National Ice Cream Day. I'm out on Mrs. Curls. Dairy Queen, it didn't feel right. The vibe was off. I was kind of like, how are you guys still in business at this location? It was weird. Handel's Ice Cream, you would have thought the Jonas Brothers were performing in there with that line. I was like, absolutely not. Went in there, we're like, okay, we'll just hit the drive-thru. There's no cars. They didn't have a drive-thru. There's people standing like they're about to get on Dragster at Cedar Point. Old reference, but it's cool. You know what I'm talking about. At least I didn't say Beast. But so many people lined up in front of Handles. Like actual people, not cars. You know how like Rally's has those walk-up windows? That's what that was. Never seen so many people in front of a building, maybe in like 19 years. Okay, try to go to Ritter's. The vibe wasn't right. I was like, why aren't there a ton of people here? There were like 3 people at Ritter's. I was like, did you guys have like a cockroach problem or something that was in the news that I didn't hear about? Vibe was off. I love how you just don't do shit, but vibe was off. Why aren't you coming to work? Vibe was off. Oh, okay. Like makes total sense. You haven't been at work in 4 months. Hey, vibes are off. No big deal. See you when you feel like the vibes are back on. Almost went to Culver's. The line was so long, I wanted to kill myself. Oh no, Culver's was closed. Culver's closed. 9 p.m. National Ice Cream Day on a Sunday in the summer. Get a life! Dairy Queen. Another Dairy Queen. I was like, at this point, my mind was made up. Going to Target, getting Ben & Jerry's, sitting on the deck at my house. Nothing better. Best decision of my life. National Ice Cream Day. Friday. Bagel Fest Day. Well, how come when I see an Einstein Bagels, it goes like this to me? And I'm like, dude, the chokehold Einstein Bagels has on me. One, the branding, just the innocence. First of all, people that work at bagel shops, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, wow, you guys did not want to be here today. Holy shit. But they always end up nailing it. I'm like, you guys, I have no faith in you guys. And then they always slay the order. I'm like, I almost want to say that at the end of every bagel transaction. I was totally wrong. It's my fault for assuming. You guys are great. Job well done. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, nothing. I just made up a whole entire story in my head about how you guys didn't want to come to work today and almost boycotted outside of the restaurant. Sorry. But every time I see an Einstein bagel, I'm like, you're right. I do need a bagel with 2 egg whites on it. Everything bagel, obviously. And I want to dip it in some spicy sauce. So good. So good. Einstein bagels, they didn't even have to be here. We have Dunkin' Donuts. We have Starbucks. We don't need Einstein, but they are just the most stable thing in my life. So innocent. So themselves, Einstein bagels. Put some respect on Einstein bagels. I think that's the next podcast question. What do you want to put some respect on? For me, Johnny Bravo. Everybody's shitting on it. Just let him cook. He's just out here trying to game up some girls every now and then. Just let him cook. Is he doing it? I don't think he's doing anything wrong. Girls are slamming him. I'm like, give my dog a break, bro. He looks good. Come on. Johnny Bravo, put some respect on Johnny Bravo. I just always want to see Johnny Bravo win. I don't know why. I'm like, I swear he's putting in the work. You saw the intro to the show. He's lifting weights. He's ha. Just keeps getting turned down. What is he saying? I haven't heard him speak one word. That's all he does all show. Looks great. I just want Johnny Bravo to get one dub. I don't think I ever saw it. Put some respect on Johnny Bravo! Saturday. Creme brulee day. It's not that good. It's not that good. Maybe it's I hold it to a high standard because it's called creme brulee, and I'm like, ooh la la. But hey, bro, you're just a 6 out of 10. I'm getting the chocolate cake in front of you every day of the week. And I feel like you're kind of talking down on me, creme brulee. I feel like when you talk to me, you talk to me like my girlfriend left me for you. She did. But it feels a little backhanded when we talk creme brulee. You know what I mean? Creme brulee, I'm like, okay, big shot. Okay. All right, you have a boat? We know. That's cool. Everybody loves you, creme brulee. You got the suite at the Pacers game, creme brulee? Take it easy. Just a little too much for me. Sunday, water park day. Thinking back, dude, water parks are just a giant tub of piss. I never thought about that. How come every time I was at a community pool at the water park, I thought I was the only one peeing in the pool? I didn't do it that much, but sometimes I'd just be like, whatever. Everybody was doing it? Dude, how about, hey, you want to shut a place down? You want to shut a place down? Yo, I shut that down. We shut it down today. Oh yeah, what'd you do? We all pooped in the pool. Dude, everybody's got to go. Hey, what? Hey, talk about a party pooper. Was the phrase party pooper invented by the first person that pooped in a pool? Because you could literally ruin 80 families' day. Is that the first terrorist attack? Pooping in a pool? The first Unabomber. Is that what they're called? I forget what they're called all of a sudden. And you're thinking of it right now because you're listening and you're like, yeah. It's that. Hey, you idiot. It's a suicide bomber. Okay, I figured it out. Is that the first suicide bomber? The guy who pooped in the pool? Taking a bullet? Dude, that's got to be the most selfish act. Gotta be. Leaving your family? Pretty selfish. Pooping in a pool. Taking a deuce in a pool? You gotta be out of your goddamn mind. And you know how bad? Dude, you're having the best time of your life at the pool. All the whistles start blowing. Wait, what? Oh my God, what? Oh my God, is there a shark? Nah, somebody pooped in the pool, dude. The way you were like, it was that kid in the blue short. I know it is. Because I keep looking his way. That little fucking tan kid. I keep looking his way. He keeps doing this. And he's like kind of crying. And his mom's body language is, my son pooped in the pool, but we're pretending he didn't. I know it was that kid. And the way I'd push his ass off the diving board if I got my... We shut it down tonight. Oh yeah, what'd you do? We pooped in the Greenwood community pool. Man, that is crazy. Hey, how about when you were like excited to go to the pool? It's like 1:30 p.m., hottest day of the year, summer. Oh, it's gonna be packed. Oh well, we'll find a spot. We got the towels, yeah. You got the goggles, yeah. You got the pool like bag, yeah. Let's go. Snacks, whatever. Magazine, got them. Drive by the pool. Oh my God, it looks closed. Worst day of my life. They're like lifeguards, but they're like clean. They're like locking it up. Somebody must have pooped in the pool. No. Are you sure? Are you sure it's not like a slow day? It's 97 degrees. Why wasn't there? And you stop by. Hey, what? Are you guys up? Nah, sorry, there's an accident. Now we gotta go to Perry Pool? I don't wanna go anymore. Let's just go home. Will you guys be open tomorrow? It's gonna take a week to clean. Where are we supposed to go? And then when you go back in a week and they're open, you kind of feel guilty. You're like, ew, I think I like stepped on it. I gotta get out of here. All right, fam. Crazy pod. Loved it. I love you guys so much. Philly, see you Thursday. Raleigh, August 22nd. Buffalo, September 19th. I'll be posting clippies and pushing tickies. Listen to the pod. Tell some homies to subscribe. Should have said this at the beginning. Forgot. Kind of overwhelmed. Kind of scared. Kind of nervous. Listen to these guys. And I'll see you guys next week. All right, fam. Fine.